Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining this session. Now we will start our session with the recitation of Mangalacharan. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody. So today we are going to recite and discuss a very, very important verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7. The verse number is 22. This is Krishna Krishna Mahabhaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dayya Mananam Apavargo Asi Samsritehi. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are several instances where the devotees were in danger and they responded to those dangerous situations. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the first verse where a devotee is in danger and he shows by his own example how we should respond to a situation when we are in danger. Generally, people think that Arjuna sought for help from Krishna when he was in danger. But strictly speaking, this is not the case. As we discuss the verse and the subsequent verses, we will see that Krishna really did not seek any protection from Krishna. Rather, his mood was different. So this verse is Krishna Krishna Mahabhaho Bhaktanam Abhyankara Tvameko Dayya Mananam Apavargo Asi Samsrite. In this verse, each and every word is very important and that requires elaborate explanation. But due to the paucity of time, we will not dive deep into the meaning and the purport behind each of those words. But in summary, I'll share a few things with you. So Arjuna says, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhav. So the background of the verse, as I mentioned to you a couple of weeks back, that Sudha Goswami tells Shaunak Rishi that the battle of Kurukshetra is over. Now both sides warriors have been killed. Duryodhana, he is lying on the battlefield of Kurukshetra with a broken spine and beaten severely by Bhima. And is lamenting over the whole situation. And Ashwathama sees the condition of his master and he tries to please him. And he did not find any means to please Duryodhana. But Ashwathama sees that the 5 sons of Arjuna were sleeping. So he mercilessly chops off the heads of those five sons and brings those five heads to Duryodhana and tells him that he has killed five Pandavas. But Duryodhana did not believe that Ashwathama can kill five sons of, Ashwathama can kill five Pandavas. So he was not able to get up because his spine was broken. So while he was lying, he touched the five heads. And as soon as he touched the five heads, he started lamenting and he condemned Ashwathama because he realized that those five heads were so soft that it cannot be the heads of Pandavas. And Draupadi gets the news. Draupadi is in deep pain. She is crying. And Arjuna promises her that I will chop the head of Ashwathama with his arrows and bring it to Draupadi. And Draupadi will do the final rites of his sons. And then after the final rites of her sons, she will stand on the head of Ashwathama and take the bath. And with this promise, Arjuna starts chasing Ashwathama. Ashwathama gets to know that Arjuna is chasing him. So Ashwathama gets on the chariot, and soon after he starts running his chariot, he realizes that his horses were tired. So Ashwathama had a fear of losing his life, and finding no means, Ashwathama releases Brahmastra. And soon after Ashwathama released Brahmastra, the heat of Brahmastra started spreading in all over direction. And the heat was so severe that Arjuna thought that his life was in danger. And in that situation, Arjuna takes the shelter of Krishna. And the first thing he says, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhav. So in this verse, the Krishna word has been repeated 2 times. There are 9 more verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam where the devotees were in danger and they called out Krishna with these 2 words, Krishna, Krishna. They repeated the word Krishna twice. So those 9 verses are given in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. But from canto 1 to canto 9, this is the only verse where the Krishna, Krishna, these 2 words have been repeated in the beginning of the verse. And why these 2 words have been repeated? To understand why these 2 words have been repeated, we should understand one thing, that if a person is in very dangerous situation and he wants to call out someone for help, or if he remembers someone, then we have the experience that person will call out the name of the person more than one time. Or many times we hear, suppose a person is in fire, right? Then you will say, bachao, bachao, save me, save me. Right? So similarly here, Arjuna was in a very dangerous situation. It's not only the heat of Brahmastra. If you look at the background, in the background, Arjuna has witnessed the killing of millions of people on both the sides. After that, his 5 sleeping sons were mercilessly killed by Ashwathama. He has given the promise to his wife that he will bring the head of Ashwathama to his wife. And on the top of everything, now the Brahmastra is chasing him. So Arjuna was in a very, very difficult and dangerous situation. So in that situation, he is remembering Krishna and he says, Krishna, Krishna. And by saying Krishna, Krishna, he wanted to get Krishna's attraction towards himself. The meaning of Krishna is all attractive. So when we recite Krishna, Krishna, chant Krishna, Krishna, first we are calling Krishna by his name, and the meaning of that name or the word is all attractive. So by chanting Krishna, Krishna, we are trying to draw Krishna's attention towards us. And the second word is a Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho. Mahabaho. Now, Mahabaho word, this has been used in Bhagavad Gita for Arjuna and couple of places for Krishna, and in Srimad Bhagavatam, several places for Arjuna and Krishna. Now, interestingly, Prabhupada has given the different meaning of the same word for the two different people. When it comes to Arjuna, when Arjuna is addressed as Mahabaho, Prabhupada translates Mahabaho as mighty armed Arjuna. But in case of Krishna, Prabhupada translates Mahabaho as O Almighty Lord. So what is the difference? In case of anyone other than Krishna, for example, Arjuna, Parikshit Maharaj, Mahabaho, it means mighty armed, which means the person whose arms are very powerful. But in case of Krishna, it's not only his arms, but each and every part of his body is equally, limitlessly powerful. O Almighty Lord. In Hindi, it means O Sarva Shakti Shali Bhagwan. So the first meaning of Mahabaho, Maha means very much, and Baho means arms. So Mahabaho, the one meaning of Mahabaho is someone whose arms are very powerful. So Krishna's arms are very powerful, and not only his arms, but even his other parts of the body are also very powerful. And another meaning of Mahabaho is someone whose arms are very long. Now, a person's arm may be very powerful, but that person's arm cannot reach everywhere. Krishna was not standing next to Arjuna. Arjuna was in one place, Krishna was in another place. So Arjuna wanted someone who can extend his arms to protect Arjuna. So Arjuna wants to tell us that Krishna is the one who is Mahabaho. Mahabaho means whose arms are very powerful and whose arms can reach anywhere and everywhere. And not only the arms, we have the example of the Vamadev incarnation. When Lord appeared as Vamadev, we know what did he do with his 3 steps. He measured the entire universe with his 3 steps. So he can take that long steps. Means he can extend his arm also like he extended his steps. And the third meaning of Mahabaho is that the Lord can, with his arms, Lord can do anything very easily without any strain, without any efforts. Lord can create the Lord can manifest millions of universes without any efforts. Like the way we breathe in and out, we don't have to exert any efforts. We don't have to struggle unless we are sick. So similarly, in case of Lord, when the Lord exhales, millions of universes are manifested without any efforts. And when he inhales, all those universes get destroyed without any effort. And similarly, Lord can protect his devotees without any problem, without any efforts, very, very easily. Similarly, Lord can kill the demons also without any efforts in a very easy manner. So Mahabaho means almighty, Sarva Shaktishali. Another meaning of Mahabaho, somebody whose arms are very powerful. Another meaning of Mahabaho, someone whose arms can reach anywhere and everywhere. And another meaning of Mahabaho is someone who can do anything and everything without putting any efforts or in a very easy manner. So Arjuna says, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho. Then second he says, Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Now, what is the meaning of Bhaktanam? Bhaktanam, simple meaning is devotees. Right? But here we should remember, here the devotees are not ordinary devotees. Devotees are the devotees who are dear to Krishna. The kind of devotees who are acknowledged by Krishna, like Krishna acknowledges Arjuna as his devotee, who is dear to him. Bhakto asi mein sakha cheti. Krishna tells Arjuna that I am telling you Bhagavad Gita, the mystery of Bhagavad Gita, because you are my devotee. So Krishna is recognizing Arjuna as his devotee. There is a difference if I tell you that I am the friend of Sheikh Khalifa, and on the other side, Sheikh Khalifa tells everyone that I am his friend. Which is more powerful? If Sheikh Khalifa tells everyone that I am his friend, then that has got a real weight. In our case, we claim ourselves to be the devotees, but we should try to find out whether Krishna also acknowledges us as his pure devotees or not. Does Krishna also loves us or not? Or are we dear to Krishna or not? Krishna has given a number of qualities which make a devotee dear to him in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And the very first quality of a devotee who is dear to Krishna is Advaita. Advaita means the person who is not envious. So if we look at ourselves and try to examine ourselves, we will find that our nature is not free of envy. We are very much envious of the situations, people, places, etc. So if we have a tinge of envy, then we are not qualified to be dear to Krishna. So when we say Bhaktanam, we should understand it means the pure devotees who have the qualities which have been mentioned by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and other places, which are the qualities which are liked by Krishna. And the devotees possess those qualities, and that's why Krishna likes such devotees. So that's the meaning of Bhaktanam. And then Arjuna says Abhayankara. Bhaya means fear, and Abhaya means fearless. So Arjuna tells that Krishna, you are the one who can make your pure devotees fearless. Now, as we have discussed several times, that our life is full of fears, full of fears. Wherever we go, whatever we do, whatever position we have got, all those things are full of fear. There is a very nice verse. We don't have the time to discuss that verse, but that verse is from Vairagya Shatakam, right? The 100 verses, where the objective is to raise the awareness so that people can start detaching themselves from this material world and start attaching to Krishna. So in that verse, it is said, Roge bhoge rog bhayam, kule chuti bhayam. So examples of fears are given where the devotee is saying that bhoge rog bhayam. Bhoge means whatever we want to enjoy. In every kind of enjoyment, there is an element of fear. Like we like to eat so many delicious things, right? But while we start eating those things, soon we get the fear in the mind that if I eat in excess quantity, then I'm going to fall sick. Bhoge rog bhayam, kule chuti bhayam. If somebody belongs to a high-class family, then he has a fear of falling down, that something should not happen by which the 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 reputation of his family gets destroyed. Bhoge rog bhayam kule chuti bhayam vitte nirpalad bhayam. That person who has a vitta means money. He is a fear of king. Fear of king means he is the fear of paying the taxes to the king. So similarly, there are other types of fear which have been given in this verse. And these things shows that our life is full of fear. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, Nav Yogendra tells very nicely what is the cause of fear. They say, Bhayam Ditviya Niveshata. Bhayam Dvitiya Niveshata Syat. Bhayam is fear. Dvitiya Abhiniveshata. Abhiniveshata means absorption. As long as we are absorbed in material energy means anything other than Krishna. Right? Whatever we see in this material world, if it is not connected with Krishna, and if our mind is absorbed there, then that situation, that place, that circumstances will cause fear in our heart. But the pure devotees, the sign of a pure devotee, as Prabhupada has mentioned one of the purports in this 6th chapter, that the sign of a devotee is that he is free from fear. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Avayam Sattva Samshuddhi. When Krishna describes the qualities of the divine qualities of a person, then the first thing, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. Right? A devotee is fearless. And we have the example of Prahlad Maharaj. We have the example of Hanumanji. We have the example of Sita Mata. We have the example of Jatayu. We have the example of Srila Prabhupada. So all these devotees showed with their examples that when it comes to serving Krishna, they did not have any kind of fear in their heart. So Krishna Krishna Mahabhavo Bhaktanam Abhayankara. So I explained the meaning of Krishna Krishna Mahabhavo Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Now Tvameko, I will come back to it in a couple of minutes. So Tvameko Daya Mananam Apavargo Asi Samsrite hai. So Daya Mananam means it's a Daya means fire. But in the context of this verse, Daiya Manana, it means suffering. Suffering from what? Samsrite. Samsrite means the place which is full of miseries. Prabhupada says miseries of material existence. Currently, our existence is material. हमारा अस्तित्व भौतिक अस्तित्व है. So we are subjected to innumerable miseries. And the categories of those miseries have been given in Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is said each and every living entity is subject to three categories of miseries: Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik. Adhyatmic means the miseries arising from our body and mind. Miseries from body means, for example, eyes are weak, right? Pain in the legs, pain in the body, miseries of body. Miseries of mind, the mind is restless. Right? Mind wants to have something which is not achievable. So these are very simple examples of the miseries caused by mind and body. Another category of miseries is the Adhyatmic Adi Bhautik. Miseries caused by other living entities. I'm walking on the road, somebody hits me with the bicycle. That's a Adi Bhautik misery. Insect bites me, that's Adi Bhautik misery. And the third is Adi Devik. Adi Devik means miseries which are imposed by the demigods due to our own karma, like sudden fire in the forest, earthquake, heavy rains, etc. So in this material world, what happens? Generally, we are able to see these Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik miseries. But what we are not able to see, there are four categories of miseries on the top of these three categories of miseries. And those are Janam and Mrityu. Janam means the miseries of birth, and Mrityu, I don't have to explain how miserable will be a person if he knows that he is going to die soon. And between birth and death, we have the old age, and with the old age, we have the disease. So while we are able to see, feel, appreciate Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik miseries, generally we don't think about the sufferings, miseries due to our birth, old age, disease, and death. Have we ever thought about the pains, miseries we have undergone while we were in the womb of our mother? Do we ever realize, we ever think that each and every moment I am getting older and older, and the diseases due to the old age will start catching me soon and so soon. And within no time, means within a few years, I have to leave this world. We don't think it. That's why in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukh Dosh Anudarshanam. Krishna says, anyone who constantly, Anudarshanam, Anu means constantly, Darshana means seeing. Krishna says, anyone who constantly sees the defects or the dosha of the four things, Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukha, the miseries of Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, then the person is in real knowledge. He is a knowledgeable person. We cannot have the bliss of seeing Krishna unless we understand that we are in the midst of these four kinds of miseries for which we don't have any solution. जब तक हम लोगों को ये समझ में नहीं आएगा कि जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि इनके भी दुख हैं, ये दोष हैं, और हम कॉन्स्टेंटली अनुदर्शन मीन्स कॉन्स्टेंटली इनको नहीं देखेंगे, नहीं समझेंगे, तब तक हम लोग भगवान का बराबर दर्शन नहीं कर सकते. इसीलिए कृष्ण भगवान भगवद गीता में कहते हैं, दैट्स व्हाई कृष्ण टेल्स इन भगवद गीता, जरा मरण मोक्षाय माम आश्रित्य. कृष्ण से जरा मरण मोक्षाय माम आश्रित्य. Krishna says the people who want to be delivered from the cycle of birth and death, only those kind of people will take my shelter. So unless we want to be delivered from the cycle of birth and death, unless we really see dukha, miseries of birth and death, and between birth and death, the miseries of old age and disease, we can't really have the real darshan of Krishna. We can't appreciate his beauty. Because Krishna is so beautiful, right, that once we have his darshan with a pure mind and heart, then we will forget everything. We won't like to enjoy anything in this, forget this material world. Even beyond this material world, we would not like to enjoy anything other than simply seeing and serving Krishna. So Tomeko Dayya Mananam Apavargo Asi Samsrite. Now another word, key word in the fourth line is Apavarga. Pavarga means the two, the Pavarga and Apavarga. So Pavarga means the punishment for being in material existence. And Apavarga means free from punishment. Or Pavarga means the bondage in the miseries of this material existence. And Apavarga means liberation from those miseries. So Pavarga, Prabhupada has mentioned in many of his purports that there are 5 stages of suffering in each and every person's life. And those have been described in scriptures as Pavarga. The people who know Hindi, so in Hindi there is a Ka Varga, Ka Varga, Ga Varga, la Ka Ka Ga Ga, right? So the Ka Varga. Similarly, there is a Pa Varga. So Pa Varga means Parishram. Fa means foam or fain in Hindi. Ba means bandhan or vyarthata, what Prabhupada says in the purport. Bha means bhaya, and ma means mrityu. So these are the 5 stages of suffering. And what does it mean? That we are all busy in the struggle for material struggle to exist in this material world. And pa means parishram. In this material world, we have to work very hard. It's not a shrama. Shrama means labor. Parishrama means very hard labor. So in this, to survive in this material world, we have the experience that we have to work very, very hard. And we have to work so hard and so hard that the fan or the foam starts coming from our mouth. And when we say foam starts coming from our mouth, we should understand it means that it's not necessary that the foam will come out from our mouth. It means that the part of the body through which we work very hard, that starts becoming weak and weak very rapidly. And that part of the body starts giving us trouble. People who work, who do the physical work, like laborers, they have to use their entire body, and using entire body, working very hard, they start sweating. Like the animals, they start releasing the foam from their mouth after working very hard. The people who are engaged heavily in using computers, their eyes gets under stress. Right? Similarly, we can take the examples of other parts of the body. Right? So that is our situation. We have to work so hard to survive in this material world. Pa, fa, ba. So after, what is the result of working so hard and releasing foam from our mouth? That we get bondage. We will continue to suffer in the same manner, birth after birth. Or Prabhupada gives another meaning of ba, which is vyarthata, means disappointment. We work very hard to be happy. But we have the example that we have never been happy completely for days and days. Or forget days and days, even for a day. We don't have any experience where we can say, I was happy for the entire day. So we work very hard, release the foam from the mouth, disappointment, and then still we are fearful. And we spend the whole life in working hard, releasing foam, getting repeatedly disappointed, and in an attempt to be happy, always remain fearful, and the time to leave the body comes in within few years' time. Right? So Arjuna says, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Tvam eko dayya mananam apavargo asi samsrite. So Arjuna says that Krishna, you are the only one. Tvam eko. Tvam means you. Eka means only. So Arjuna is saying that Krishna, you are the only one who can release the people from pavarga. You are the only one who can give relief to the people who are suffering in innumerable miseries of this material existence. So when Arjuna says Tvam Eko, it means in this material world, nothing other than Krishna can give us the relief from the repeated cycle of the birth and death. Or no one other than Krishna can release us from the miseries of repeated birth and death. A person may be very beautiful, person may be very rich, person may be very powerful, person may be very knowledgeable. Right? But with the strength of beauty, knowledge, power, fame, renunciation, anything, take any kind of strength. No power can give us the relief from the miseries of repeated birth and death. And it's only Krishna who can release us from these miseries and liberate us, means and give the shelter unto his lotus feet so that we can serve him. So I explained you in a brief the meaning of Krishna Krishna, Mahabhaho, Bhaktanam, Abhayankara, then Tvameko, Dayya Manana, Apavargo, then Asi means this, and Samsrate, the material existence. So now we don't have more time to reflect upon the subsequent verses, but in the next week, I'll take the subsequent verses, because those verses are very, very important for us from material as well as from a spiritual point of view. These verses relate to a couple, which is Arjuna and Draupadi. They were Grasta like most of us. The way we face difficult situation, dangerous situation, similarly, this couple also faced a very difficult situation. And how did they handle the situation? It's very instructive for everyone. So we will take up a few verses next week. And now I like to give the viram to this katha, today's session. And Krishna willing, we will meet next week again and reflect upon the subsequent verses. And those verses are very, very interesting. And the messages from those verses are also very, very powerful. So now we would conclude this session by offering obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.